This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Demsey McKean here in Saudi Arabia. Demsey, how are you?
I'm good, mate. It's good to be here in Riyadh for the first time, and what a show and what a promotion they hold here, and it's the first day of all the media, so plenty more good things to come.
We will be indeed, and here we are. Moses Itauma. How much of Moses do you know, Demsey?
Yeah, well, look, we watched a bit of footage. My coach has come up with a good game plan. He's the one that watches most of the footage. I just watched a little bit, trying to delve too much in what they do. So
Moses is somebody who's very highly rated. He's seen as the future of the heavyweight division. Obviously, had a very good performance against Marius Vac recently. Going into this fight, a lot of people are expecting him to come out with quite a stunning performance against yourself, to put it lightly. Do you think you're not being given enough credit or respect going into this fight?
Of course, but there's a lot of hype around him, a lot of noise behind him. They're trying to tout him to beat Mike Tyson's record, so they can do what they want. That's what a promoter does. That's what promotion does. They try to get behind the fighter and promote them. So they can do it. It's one thing to say something and then another thing to do it. So.
When you watch Moses Itauma personally then, or when you've seen footage of him yourself, I know you said you leave it to your team, but what do you feel like you can take advantage of? What do you feel like will be the key for you on Saturday night?
There's a few things we can capitalise on, and obviously it's easy to look good against the competition that he's fighting, and Marius Vac, and the guy's 45 years old and big as a house, and taking fights on short notice and not really training hard. So he's expected to kind of do that to Marius Vac. But I'm a guy that's coming in with a full camp under my belt. I'm contending myself in the prime of my career. I'm actually going to throw punches back, like unlike all of his opponents. So it's different, isn't it? It's a different game.
As for one question that I've seen people still wanting to see answered with Moses, how is he going to be when he takes a punch flush on the chin? When you, in your own self and your confidence, that you test his chin on Saturday, do you feel like you'll see a reaction from him that we weren't expecting?
Yeah, look, I'm sure he gets punched in sparring. I don't think he's untouchable. I'm sure he's going to be able to handle a bit of a punch, but we're going to test it out over and over again and see how he copes with that. Obviously, in a fight, it's completely different to sparring. In a fight, he's never been punched with a 10-ounce glove. He's stated that over and over again. So, we're going to see when he feels those knuckles.
We know with you big boys, as they say, anything can happen in the heavyweight division, and we see a lot of knockouts. Are you confident in yourself that we could see a short night on Saturday night?
Look, if it's a short night, it's a long night, goes the distance, it's a knockout. Look, I'm going to be coming away with a win, simple as that, and that's all I need to focus on. If the knockout is there, the knockout is there. If it goes to 10 rounds, I'll win on points. It's simple. I'm not too phased. As long as I come out with a good performance and the W, I'm a happy man.
How key is the victory for the next chapter in your career, Demsey, moving forwards for you to achieve your own ambitions and goals within boxing? How much pressure in that sense do you feel like to have your hand raised?
Yeah, there's always pressure. I got to keep winning to be able to keep the next big fight coming alive, So I need to come away with a good win, a good performance, look good doing so to make sure, I get these return invitations on big shows like the Riyadh season.
What do you feel like is the next chapter in your career if Saturday goes to plan? Obviously, with all the titles and what have you held up, but as you mentioned, Riyadh season, we've got a liking for the heavyweight division and we're seeing a lot of heavyweight fights being made. Is there anybody in particular who you like to look at and think there's a realistic fight to be made there?
So when I am successful, we'll just deal with it. Take it as it comes. It's funny. His team has put in a rematch clause for this fight also. So it's good to see. It's very interesting that maybe they don't have this 100% faith in their fighter also. It's not even a world title fight and they're opting for rematch clauses. So there's a little what if. There's a little not 100% certain that Moses is going to come away with a win there as well. So, but obviously they don't have to take that rematch clause. So if it leads off to like a bigger fight, then we take a bigger fight. But all eyes on Moses on Saturday.
I mean, the rematch clause is an interesting point, man. Does that give you even more confidence in yourself that maybe there are doubts in the Itauma camp?
Well, definitely. It's like, why else would they put a rematch clause in there? It's like, what happens if he does lose? What happens if he doesn't win this fight? So, obviously, there's something going on there with his promoter, Frank Warren, and maybe they're not 100% confident. So, I'm excited. I'm just keen to get in there on Saturday night.
Just with the heavyweight division itself, another man I want to bring up to you is Filip Hrgovic. Not successful against him previously, but is that something which you think could be run back at some point next year if you get a good victory under your belt?
Yeah, definitely. That's a fight there. I would love to redeem myself in that fight also. If I made some other small adjustments, I could have come away with the win there. There's a lot of close rounds and I won a lot of good rounds in the second half of that fight. So a couple other little adjustments and the fight there is there for the taking.
Just on the theme of the heavyweight division, Usyk-Fury 2 Saturday, what do you think is going to happen?
I think Usyk comes away with the points win. I think it's going to be similar to the first fight. It's going to be a war. He's going to have really good energy in that fight, and I think his pace and his work work rate, gets him through the second half of that fight, and comes away with the points decision.
And next year, Daniel Dubois versus a man from close to your part of the world, Joseph Parker. Do we see Joseph Parker upset Daniel Dubois in that fight?
It's a good fight. Honestly, I'll probably tip him more towards Dubois at the moment, but it's a really good fight and good stylistic matchup. I'm looking forward to that as a fan.
Right, well, Demsey, just before I let you go, anything you want to leave on, anything you'd like to say?
Make sure you tune in on DAZN pay-per-view on come Saturday night.
Get a message to Moses Itauma.
Be ready, mate. We're going to test you.
Demsey, thank you.